Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Thought I'd give you a health warning first. I'm about to change my outfit for today's build, so if you've got some dark glasses or you want to just avert your eyes, I can understand that right now. We haven't seen this for a while, have we? This is the penultimate video. Basically, we finish all the hoses up, we connect all the bikes together. In fact, in the next video, that will be the final video, all we're doing is putting the fairing on. So there is, I think, 10 stages in this pack. Now, I don't think this is still available at the moment. I have put the link to this build in the video description. There's a QR code on the screen, but I really don't think it's available at the moment. This is quite a hard stage, I have to say. So I think it took 2.5 hours to build. I've already built it, so I know how it turns out. But I am pretty grateful that at the end of this stage, no more hoses. It's all going to be about the fairing. And I'm going to try and do that video in the next 2 weeks so that you can actually see this completed build. But I really do hope you like this. Without further ado, let's get cracking. So here's the magazine for stage 74. Gonna have a flick through it. I can't even remember what we're up to. And in this pack we do get this rim here, which is in this massive bag here, which, remember, it's one number ahead on the barcode. So this is number 75 at the end, which means this is for pack 74. I know it's confusing, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting this rim inside the tyre that we had in stage 73, looking like that. Once that's in there, we are going to be putting a couple of details here onto the bike, and that's all we're doing in that stage. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is putting this massive heavy metal rim inside this wheel. It is saying push it in here. I'm telling you what, this is really hard. I'm going to have to put this into some hot water. As if by magic, a massive bowl appears. So I'm going to put this in here, give it 30 seconds on one side, then just flip this over. There we go, that should be suitably softened up. So now when I put this in, it's a lot easier to get this in now, as you can see. So I'm just feeding the lip under each edge there. Do the same on this side, a little bit like a bicycle tyre. It's amazing how similar it is, but I suppose this is a motorcycle, so it is going to be similar. Just dry that off, and there we go. The wheel is in place like that. I can put this to one side. And now we haven't seen this for a while. This is the bike. Now I'm going to gently lie this down here, because I need some parts which came in stage 72. Now, one of them is this little thing here with a hollow top. One of them's got a curved top. Keep the curved top one to one side. The hollow top one is just going to go into this section just here and push that down. So I've zoomed up on the top camera, that one's in place. And then I need this little section here. This is going to be going onto the hole on the top of these pistons here. It is directional, so I need to get this in the right way. You might find it easy to actually take this section out to put this in. See, it does take some pushing to get that on, but now I can just put this back in here and secure that into place. I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side, but this time I've got the dome version of this, which is going in here like that. And then again, I think I will take this off. That was a lot easier to do it this way. Put this into place and then put it back on into here. With those two in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 75, this is the magazine. Flicking through it, as you can see, we've got these two parts here. We're not actually using those parts though, because we are putting some more pipe work in. I hate pipe work, but I'm going to get all of this pipe work in, trying to show you where that actually is. And that's all we're doing in this stage. So we've got two lots of brake pipe work here, looking just like this. I think this is the left pipe here. They look very similar. Again, I'm going to lie this down so you can see on the top camera. And basically we have got a D-shaped pattern here, which is going to go into the hole just here. Now the other side of this pipe goes underneath this hooked section just here. Now I really hope you can see this. I'm going to be taking this lead, putting it through the fairing here, so it comes out here, and it's going to go into the nipple, just if I can point to it, the second one from the bottom there. Now you know how scared I am of pipes falling out, so I am just going to put a little bit of glue on that nipple. And there you go. That's in place. Up there, into that position there. I'm going to turn the motorcycle over and do exactly the same thing on the other side. I wish we had a stand to work on at this stage, I have to say. So I'll put some glue in here just to help me out. In there like that. I don't want to break this, so I'm just going to loosen this up just a touch here. Just so I can get this underneath. Like that. Then I can tighten that up again. This one's going to be going on the nipple just over here. I don't know if you can see that. That one there. So once again, bring this up through the fairing. Just like that. Now I need this cross pipe looking like that. And I want the 105mm bit of the pipe, which is the second longest one, to go on top of what we just put in here. So again on the top camera, just this bit here. And I'll get that into place. Now I need to lead all of these tubes up this right hand fork here, like this. So they all come out at the top. They're sitting up here. And the small 65mm tube is going into this point just here. There we go, that's that one in. Now this other pipe here, this is impossible to show you. I'm going to try on the close-up camera here. Underneath the brake here we've got the hydraulic union with a nipple coming off. This one is going into that. So let me get that in. And again, hopefully you can see that. That one's in, which means we've just got this really long one left. And I actually want to just keep that actually down this side because it's going to go onto the caliper on the other side. As you can see, I've got that here. And I'll just put that in like that. And there you go. That's all there is to do in that stage. The hoses are very confusing. In stage 76, here's the magazine. We've got this sprocket here. And it looks like we're going to start putting some of these parts on the wheel that we created. So by the end of it, it's looking just like this. And that's the end of that stage. Now we have got some lugs on this side, so it tells you which way round it's going. Just like that. Then I want to take the gear, this one here from stage 76. As you can see, this is metal. We've got 3 lugs on this one. That's going to be going on the other side, onto this section here, and it's lining up with the 3 holes that you can just see just there. So get this in. Now we do need to ensure this stays in, so I am going to have to put some glue on here. And I think that one's going to stay in, no problems at all on that side. But with those in, that's all there is to do in that stage. We do have this little section left over, so I'm going to keep that safe. In stage 77 here, here's the magazine. As you see, we've got another pipe here. Oh, we've got lots of brake calipers here, rear brake caliper. Looks like we've got a, what is this? A rear wheel spindle as well. And there's that part that we just had left over. So we are going to connect these pipes up and put this onto that part we had left over. So that's looking like that. Again, this is a nice quick stage. Open this little bag of tricks. The first thing I want to do is I want to marry these bits of caliper together. So these can only go in one way, but these are just going to go in like this. Pretty much like the front ones were. Get them all the way in, so now that's one piece looking like that. I want to take the pipe we've got here, and we do have a little connector. Every time I have connectors, I always make sure I glue these into place because they've got a habit of falling out. So glue just on that spindle there. And then I'm going to push this in here. So it goes all the way in like that. And then again, a little bit of glue just onto this D-shaped hole here. And push that in. Can only go in one way, being a D-shaped hole. We're pushing that into the caliper here. Very tight fit. I've had to bang that in there to get that in. And then we're just going to bring over the part we had left at the last stage, and we're just going to be pushing the pins on this side just into the other side of the caliper here. So I'll just get this pushed in 1 and 2. Don't think we're going to need glue for this. They did say that they're quite a tight fit, and believe me, they are, as you can see. But that's in place like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Again, we're left with a washer, a nut, and this big spindle here. So in stage 78, here's the magazine. No idea, I haven't looked at these magazines. We got a rear fender on here. Are we going to be using this though? No. Well, we are actually. We're going to attach one tiny bit here. Then we're going to create another hose. So at the end of it, we're just left with these two items here. So again, not a lot to do in this stage. So the first thing to do is to take this fender and this little lip here. And we've got some locating pins on here, which are just going to go into these 2 points here. Again, it is quite a tight fit, these are. So don't think we're going to need glue. As you can see, that's gone in perfectly like that. Put that to one side. And now I want to join these two pipes together. Every time I join pipes, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to glue the little nipple here, because I don't want this falling out. I'm more worried about where this pipe's actually going to end up. Push that on all the way there, and that is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 79, here's the magazine. And again, we've got the Swingarm this time. I don't know if we're using that though. By the look of it, we're adding what we've just created here. So we are using that. And then it looks like we get to mount the wheel to this bracket as well, which is going to be quite a nice big issue actually compared to what we've just done. That's the end of that stage. I'm going to get this open. We've got some B screws here, and this is a really heavy part. We've also got some N screws and some M screws. N and M. Oh, and we've also got, wow, some C screws. And looks like some sort of cover there. And boy, is this a solid piece of metal. Check that out. Okay. Now this has got a plastic cover on, which is supposed to come separate. But seeing as they put it in for me already, I'm not about to take it out, because that's actually where it's going. And I'm going to be screwing this in with 3 B screws. So just get these in. Okay, now on this swing arm, on this side here, I've got 2 lugs, metal lugs they are in here. We're actually going to be putting in what we created in the last stage. It goes in, probably best on the top camera, this way round, and I'm just going to push them onto those points there. Just going to see how that fits in there. It is quite a tight fit. I don't think I need to glue that in. All I need to do then is bring over this massive tyre. So I'm going to be putting this in this way, and I want to make sure that the brake disc goes into the caliper on this side here. So that's perfect. And then I need to take this spindle, pass that through the middle here. Make sure that goes all the way through to the other side, like that. Then I'm going to put a washer on and a nut. Then I use that wrench they provided for us to tighten that up. Excellent. As you can see, that's now the rear wheel in place. That looks really good. In stage 80, Here's the magazine. I'll flick through. We've got the chain with a sprocket on here as well. And it looks like now we get to put this rear fender on into position like this. Quite a lot to do by the look of it. Once we've got that on, it looks like we're actually going to be putting the wheel on as well. So this is going to be one of the pivotal parts of this whole build. Okay, so for this stage, I'm going to be needing this part here. I'm not going to need the chain that comes with this stage. And I'm going to need the fender that we were working on previously. So if you have a look here, we've got a hole. This is going to be going into position just there. Matter of fact, we've got holes each side as well. Now they're held in with C screws. Now these are Allen screws. So I have got this loaded up. Once I've got this one in here, it's going to be easy, like that, to get the two in on the other sides here. This is the last screw just going in here. Now in stage 43, which I've had to dig out, we've got another spindle here and a nut cover. So I'm going to get this open now. So bring the bike over, just like this, being very gentle. So what I'm going to do is, again on the top camera, if you see here, I've got a space for a nut, which is going to fit perfectly into the shape just like that. Now in stage 79, we had a nut cover, which looks just like this. I'm going to be pushing that over the top of the nut. I'd love to tell you how easy that was to get in. That wasn't easy at all. And in the process, I just snapped that off. That's why I've got a bracket on here. Typical. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be lining up the spindle on this with the hole where the nut is. This suspension here, as you can see, this bit here needs to go through the opening on the swing arm. So I'm going to get that through first and then line this up. Because once you've lined it up, you want to get the spindle here and push this through. Now I'm just going to screw this in to try and get the other side of that spindle in place.
A few moments later.
And you know what? Just putting that little bit in there took over an hour. How crazy is that? But obviously, if I could just hold this here, this is actually free to go up and down now until we've actually put this bit into place down the bottom here. But it's looking good. I really do wish we had a stand though, because at the moment I'm just having to hold it like this. I'm surprised nothing has got damaged so far. But there you go. That's how that's looking up to stage 80. So, stage 81. Let's have a look at that. I think this will be the last stage we do of this one. I'm so stressed. It's already been an hour and a half, this video now. We're just going to be adding some parts here, including putting this suspension in now. So we've actually got this at the ride height it needs to be. Now I am using my Partwork Upgrades mat. And I've kind of moved my top camera around because this suspension here now is going to be going into this bracket we've got just there. It's going to be held in with an M screw. And these are the silver screws like this. They came in magazine 79. And again, these are Allen screws. So let's get this lined up. And I'll get that screwed in there. And in the same magazine, we had a type N screw. And again, on the top camera, hopefully you can see that. I'm then going to be putting this into the ride height of the vehicle there. Once I put this in, this isn't going to be able to go up and down as much as it was a second ago. And there we go. That's into place. Now, I'm going to have to turn the bike over now. But as you see, it's a lot more stable now. And I want to take this rear brake disc sensor now and puts this lug into the hole just at the top here. Just like that. Now, the pins on the sensor here, hopefully you can see that on the top camera, are going to go into the holes in the swing arm, like that, which means this goes round this way. So this pipe here is actually going to go into the lug just there. So I'll try and get this in. This is going to be a bit tricky. Open the end up And there we go. God, that took some doing to get that in there. And then the lead that's coming from the brake here, I'm going to pass that up through this section here. And that's just going to go into the brake cylinder at the side here. Just this point that's coming out here. Like that. Whew, that was fun. So with those two in, that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 82, we're going to be putting the chain on. And as you see, we do get a Paddock stand in this one now, which is brilliant. We should have had this years ago. I might actually get that out now, see if I can actually mount the bike to it so I can keep it standing upright. But what we're going to be doing is putting this gear on, which is this one here. I believe this came in stage 28, so we've had this for a long time. Screwing this in place, putting the chain on, and putting the linkage in to complete the chain all the way around. So look, I have got the stand here, so let's just see how this works. I'm guessing it just fits over these things here. Let's get these on both sides. And it enables the bike to stand up. I really wish we could have done that earlier on. But I have got to take it off the stand now because I'm about to put this chain on. So gently lying it down. And I want to be putting this on this way round. So this end's going down like that, just onto this section here. And again, probably on the top camera is best to see this. It's held in with a type F screw. And these screws do come with washers. Once again, these screws are Allen screws, so I do need my hexagonal bit for this to get this into place. Get the chain and all the parts for the connectors for these. And what I want to do is I want to wrap the train around this sprocket here, ending here, going through these two openings just here. But I want to have the open section just at this section here. So let's do this. So I'm going to just thread it through. Not going to be easy. Just like this. And I'll keep the linkage just into those sockets there. Now I want to thread this around what I've just put in this side. It's looking like I'm going to have to loosen this up and then put the socket in once the chain's in. So let's gently take the screw out. Use my tweezers just to pick that up. Engage this in with the chain and put it back into position. I want to take the missing link and put that through the spare side here. Making sure I've got that as tight as I can get it. See, I've got that chain nice and tight. You do need that chain really tight. Once the clip's in behind here, I'd like to tell you that takes seconds. But yeah, that took almost an hour as well to get that in. The good thing is now though, that as you can see, when this turns like this, it actually turns this section as well. I don't know if you can see that on the top camera, so that's cool. It's not like I'm going to have it rolling around the floor. All that's left to do is then put this cap in just over this centre spindle here. Push it into place. And that is all there is to do in that stage. And I think we're going to leave it there because all the rest of the stages is going to be putting the fairing on and the seat. So looking pretty good, isn't it? And there you go. So all we've got to do is the fairing, as I said. So that's hopefully going to be coming in the next couple of weeks. And then that finishes the Valentino Rossi build. This is an absolutely brilliant build. I'll tell you what, the bike is so heavy, but I'm sure you'll agree it is looking absolutely brilliant. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.